Let's talk about how you can glaze your stamped heart ceramic. So I like to change up the art jobs. These are going to be the jobs for today. The number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 all have different jobs to create this beautiful underglazed heart. On this chart, on the left are the glaze colors. Now you guys are going to choose one glaze today. That is it. You're painting your ceramic with one color. On the right are the location of where the glaze colors are. I'll put this chart out again so you know where you should go to find your special glaze color. Let's walk over to the clay supply table. This is what you're going to use today. It's a different kind of messy mat. It's kind of shiny on one side. We're not going to use the normal messy mats. We're going to use that today. Also, you'll find out what this green scrubby's for in a little bit. There's the glazes that you've seen before, but this is a little different. This mint green stuff is gloss glaze, which you will have the option to use at the end. We'll talk about that later. You're also going to need water and the brushes that I set out that are the largest size that I have in the art room. And just a reminder, the paper towels are by both sinks. They're right there for cleanup. Now let's talk about how you're going to glaze your ceramic. Mine has already been half painted from my other class. But basically you're just going to leave the ceramic touching the table so it's not too far up off the table so you don't accidentally drop it and break it. And with your brush, you're just going to coat one coat over the entire ceramic piece, making sure to get inside all of those crevices that you stamped. Now, of course, we're not going to paint the back, just the top. Now we're not slopping this on. Do just a nice one layer, but don't get it on the back. Now we're going to speed up the process and let this dry. You shouldn't see any thick, shiny clump areas, and if you do, just go back over it with your brush. But we want one uniform coat. Smooth it out, and then don't touch it again. Just let it sit for a couple minutes. When it's all matte or not shiny, then you can work on brushing off and distressing the stamps that you put on. It'll give it texture. We're going to use the green scrubby for this. So the green scrubby has a rough texture that will allow you to rub off the surface so your stamps really show up really nicely. So hold on to your art piece really well so it doesn't fly off the table and land on the floor and break. And with your other hand, just gently go over the stamped parts, go over the edges. If you get any globbed on the back, just wipe that off with your green scrubby. Really get into where you stamped your words so your words kind of show up and they have some contrast against the white clay. It gives it a nice distressed look, kind of like faded blue jeans. And I really think that you'll like how it looks after it's been fired a second time. So now that you have your one color on, now you get to decide if you want it glossy or a matte finish. So glossy is when you have a super shiny surface, and matte is when you have a not shiny surface. So you get to decide if you want to paint on 3 more coats of clear glossy glaze or just stop now and be done for the day. If you decide you do want glossy, then you have to bring your art project in your hand over to the island table or the rainbow table and paint on that light blue clear glaze, which will turn glossy and clear when I put it in the kiln again. When you're done with your matte underglaze, you can bring it to the gray cart behind the smartboard. And you don't need to write your name on it because I already inscribed it into the back of the clay. But I wanted to show you the difference between glossy or glazed and the ones that just have the color with no glaze on top. You can see the difference. The ones with just the matte or not shiny, you can still see the color, like the blue and the green and the orange. But this one is white. That means that person painted 3 layers of glaze or gloss on top. That one's not. Or maybe they didn't put enough clear gloss on top. But you need to decide if you want yours matte or glossy. When you're done and you want to wash your hands, you can line up on the red dots by the far sink by the Mona Lisa poster. Just wash your hands off. I don't have any soap. Dry them off with a paper towel, throw the paper towel in the garbage, and then sit back down and check out what everybody else at your table's doing. Hope you have fun with the last day of your ceramic heart stamp project. I know it'll turn out great.